Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Anna Speaks, where we discuss psychology, narcissists, anything and everything at all that I really want. It's a podcast dedicated to thinking, offering my observations, talking about life, not just about manifestation. Um, just in terms of if you want to look at it as my personal diary and you're all invited to listen, you can think of it this way. So today I want to talk about how to win against any narcissist. Um, and you really have to follow this rule book. You cannot deviate. Um, and you can always win. I myself, I'm not of the opinion that there are these powerful creatures, that there are these intimidating people, etc. I think narcissists, they're really weak. Um, they're really weak in that their development has had stopped sometime in childhood, that's for sure. And if you know anything about narcissists, I mean, you can pretty much summarize them as 3-year-olds running around pretending they're adults when in fact they refuse to look at themselves. The main difference, as we all know, is that they refuse to look at themselves, whilst a normal person with normal self awareness regularly does and considers that to be a must do, to be social, to be part of society, um, to want to do right by people. Narcissists just understand, however jarring this sounds, and I remember myself doing this research when I finally realized that my own mother was a narcissist beyond a shadow of a doubt. I just didn't know this, concept, this label in psychology. But when I finally, you know, got to know all the characteristics, and infallibly all the characteristics and all the sort of dimensions of this mental illness, because it is a mental illness. This is not normal to be this way, to behave this way. The number one is that they don't care. They don't. And it might break your heart right now if it's your mother, let's just say, or if it's, well, a loved one, and God forbid somebody you fell in love with, which I know. I've been in love with narcissists over and over again. It was my own situation that I needed to abandon. You understand? I think it's also almost the self-sacrificing people pleaser that I used to be, where I had these delusions of them being capable of becoming who I saw them, the potential in them that I saw. I mean, whether you're falling in love with a potential of a normal person or of a narcissist is a disastrous proposition, may I tell you right now. But right off the bat, if you can just understand, they are incapable of emotionally being empathetic. In other words, if you're feeling some type of way, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling hurt, they don't have the capability to access this emotion, to offer you support of any kind. And in some cases, if, let's face it, if it's a person who's, how should we put it, who's your opponent, I don't like the word enemy. I think it's a little too dramatic. If it's your opponent, let's face it, they rejoice in it more than you'll ever know, more than a normal person would. So, right off the bat, you have they don't care. So, in a situation, I'm not talking about a regular situation. I'm talking about a situation where you finally realize this is who they are, because they also tend to be very charming, which I know is very confusing. You need to understand that however charming they are, however they fake their empathy, which is a really scary side, ladies and gentlemen. It's this one of the scary sides in life, to see a narcissist who you've now confirmed through their action. Maybe you caught them cheating, maybe over and over, or maybe you caught them in a lie that is absolutely disastrous, but they don't know yet that you know. Or maybe they don't know to the extent to which you're aware of what they've been doing behind your back. To see the same person come out in public, which I've had to observe in my life over and over again, and try to pretend, including my mother, by the way, try to pretend that they're this God fearing, spiritual, God loving, well meaning person with a really kind of like, how should I put it? To an uneducated mind, it will seem genuine. It almost can pass for a genuine situation if you are maybe like a child, and even a child would pick it up. So I don't know your story, you know your story. To me, by now, it's so fatally obvious, and it's really disturbing to see them come out in public and you look at them and you know all about what they've done, and yet they see it as nothing wrong. Not only nothing wrong, but that's their mask for the public, to come out in public and pretend to be this persona that they've carefully crafted. And meanwhile, it's completely fucking fake. It's the most disturbing side. So now what does that give you? Okay. They clearly don't give a fuck about the rules. They don't give a fuck about people. They don't give a fuck about rules. And they lie so much that they have to pretend to be somebody else. They do so much crazy shit that they have to be, pretending in public to do something else. Now, listen, we all know the tactics of a desperate, pathetic narcissist, gathering up a group of people and gossiping, lying about somebody they're really threatened by. That's the usual, right? Brainwashing people to get on their side, lying, and all these things. I mean, eventually, if any person in that fucking group is at least a little bit smart, they're going to catch up to the lies, because the story never fucking makes sense. The facts, they start to change, if they are even facts. You know, it's all kind of really shifty and shady. But the main objective is that they are always lying. They never respect the rules. So your job, if you have such an opponent, whether that's in a legal case, like I had to battle my ex-husband to get me a divorce, understand that this is their weakness, that they don't give a fuck about people. They don't give a fuck about how they come across. They're tone deaf completely. In other words, people around them, those who they didn't get to brainwash yet, or maybe some people who they attempt to, or people just, in life that, I don't know, even their lawyer, let's just say, or the judge, or whoever, or some kind of other person or people involved, that they see them not following the rules, trying to bend rules or disregarding. That in and of itself, you understand, is a really, like, the fact that they think they're grandiose, that they don't have to follow the rules, is already a major fucking, benefit in your favor, because they want to conduct themselves like they're above everybody. They want to conduct themselves like the world owes them something. Meanwhile, they haven't fucking worked for it, for anything. Narcissists are lazy. This is their best bet in life, is to screw somebody over, to lie, cheat, and steal. You understand? And they think it's, oh, the funniest is that no one will ever find out that their fucking scam is bulletproof, that that people are fucking stupid. This to me is insulting. I'm just saying. I mean, it's funny, but it's also kind of like, how could you be so fucking stupid? Of course, people will catch on to you. So when you have this combination of, I don't give a fuck about how I come across to other people, I don't care, rules don't fucking apply to me, laws don't fucking apply to me, it becomes so fucking easy. And to top it off, here's my favorite, okay? Narcissists really fucking think that they're good manipulators. And it's true. Listen, when I was younger in my 20s and I had my drug addict ex-boyfriend who undoubtedly, like 100%, was a narcissist, like really fucking psychotic, crazy narcissist. It's true. Like, you understand, emotional manipulation and all of this is very true. Now, listen, it wasn't that I wasn't aware of it underneath it all, but I just couldn't help it because emotionally I wasn't strong. But let's just say, okay, you're somebody at the very least who is like spiritual. I mean, I attract a spiritual crowd on my channels having to do with magic and miracles, and this one is related, and you're working on yourself, you understand, and you're tapped in, you kind of like, you've got it going on. This is a different ball game. To go against a really spiritually tapped in person for a narcissist is a total disaster, is a total, like, they will be leveled with the ground. What do I mean by that? That they're not prepared for the kind of strength the spiritual person, actually spiritual person, has in store for them. And what you will find out if you are such a person who at the very least is working on themselves. I'm not asking you to be a fucking guru over here. It's not necessary, okay? It's not necessary, period, but especially in this situation, it's not necessary. And what you'll end up finding out is that actually, whilst narcissists fancy themselves these ultra supreme sophisticated manipulators, they're really not. It's so sloppy, it's so disorganized, it's so obvious, it's so half-ass. They're actually really easily manipulatable themselves. How you like me now? True story. Why? Because they're unstable, because they're selfish, they're greedy, they're too easily offended, which, again, if you know anything about narcissists, you know 100% that that's the truth. I mean, I've been in relationships, like I said, with narcissists, and you could say the wrong word or the wrong thing without knowing or intending to do so. Because they, again, refuse to look at themselves, what it is that truly bothers them about themselves, about life, whatever. Truly, they hate themselves. You know this, right? Which is why they act this way. They loathe themselves. Like, nobody loathes themselves worse than a narcissist. You will never reach that level. It's not humanly possible because you have to be mentally ill to be capable of this kind of behavior and of this kind of loathing towards yourself. But so you can manipulate them right back because their ego, it's like it's so fragile, you like blow at it and it will fall the fuck apart. They don't have an identity. They really want one desperately, which sometimes they borrow identities from other people, which 100% true. They borrow from this one, they borrow from that one, or if they really think that somebody is somebody special, they're gonna, now this is my identity. It's really creepy. Like I said, mental illness. So they don't have their own identity. They don't have emotional stability. And therefore, whilst they fancy themselves emotional manipulators, watch how they fall apart when, example being, you don't fall for their fucking manipulative emotional tactics and you recognize them as an attempt to destabilize you, to discombobulate you, giving them no reaction completely makes them go apeshit. That their game, their manipulative tactics, so carefully thought out, not really, so sloppy, so gross, so kind of like uneducated, didn't work because you see it for what it really fucking is. A 3-year-old still in a fucking diaper, okay? Really, like a 3-year-old that is slow at that, okay? I don't think you're supposed to have diapers at 3 years old, unless I'm not understanding something, okay? Who's having a temper tantrum because they're not perceived as a threat, and they're not. And they're not. Let them act out. Let them fall apart. Why the fuck should you fall apart at their fucking manipulative tactics? They're trying to get a rise out of you so that they can create this confusion. And here's the main thing. All of this, all of these manipulative tactics, all of this fucking bullshit, all of this manipulation is simply to distract your attention from the truth. Keep this in mind. They're going to create a fake narrative about you, tell everybody about you some fucking bullshit lies, this, that, and the other. Like, why would a person want to do this shit behind the back, underhandedly? Because they're really threatened by the you, and they're really threatened by the truth. But guess what? Truth, it has like this quality of always coming out, no matter what. And everything that they do literally shows their utter devastating fear of what might come out about them, because they know once it's out, it's finished. The charade, it's not only finished, it's going to be so much humiliation. Everybody will turn against them. So your job is not to fall in. And I know it's sometimes very difficult. I know it could seem overwhelming because, again, they're banking on your emotional response. Notice what you're looking at the desperate human being who is deathly afraid of the truth. That's how fragile they are. That's how easily you can win. And what's necessary is just to remain calm and follow the rules, follow the law, follow the whatever you have to do without paying attention to the chaos, the distraction and destruction that they're trying to create in order to convince you that you're worthless, that you're wrong, that you're crazy. Oh, that's their go to. When all else fails, or even before that, they just go to spreading rumors that you're crazy, that you're overreacting, that you don't know what's what, that you've done X, Y, and Z when you haven't, when you've said X, Y, X, and Z when you haven't, trying to make you look crazy as fuck, trying to separate you from other people. And, for some time they might succeed. But the fact is that underneath it all, listen, once everybody finds out the truth, it's game over, no matter how many fucking manipulations, because proof backed up by facts and things that are existing on paper and not just la 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 out of the mouth of a desperate narcissist is pretty hardcore. So your job is just to keep steady, to know exactly who you are authentically, that nobody can fucking distract you into thinking, no matter how many fucking lies they spread about you, no matter what they fucking do, no matter what they say about you, no matter what, just look at them. I know it could be very upsetting and very confusing and very like, what the fuck? But understand why they're doing that, because they're afraid of you. That's it. They know that you can destroy them without even like lifting a finger. It already, like, the solution is already present in the air, has been present before the whole shit show began. They know what they're working against. That's why they're working overtime. If you remain calm and collected, and again, just very impartially go through this process of, I'm just here to follow the rules. I'm just here to get rid of you once and for all. Okay, because they really think they're going to get rid of you with these pathetic, childish manipulations, or that they're going to permanently destroy you, or that they're going to turn everybody against you. Well, they have another one coming. Okay, because if you're strong enough, and that's the other thing, you're going to have to be bold enough and going to have to be strong enough to stand your ground. Once you have that, nobody can do anything, because since you have the truth on your side, you're going to very patiently and very like quietly maybe wait for the right moment for all the pieces of the puzzle to come together. And then the look on the narcissist's face, or maybe if you won't be seeing them at that moment, the kind of shock that they will experience, like almost like, in their like just crazy mind, I would suppose it feels like a betrayal, because their dirty tricks just didn't work. And you did not lose your cool, at least not in front of them. Don't ever let them see, even if that, you saw something. Of course it's upsetting, of course it's fucking upsetting, because you're a fucking human, you feel things, they feel nothing. That's their criminally minded game, and I really do mean criminally minded, because I don't know a fucking narcissist yet that hasn't done something weird with money. When it goes into the finances, like stealing, like defrauding somebody, you understand, like falsifying documents, all that shit. They do this like it's their second fucking nature. It's like crazy. So in their criminal mind, this kind of atmosphere of peace, of relaxation, of knowing your worth, it doesn't fucking exist. This is how you win. Let them freak out, let them do their dirtiest work while you sit back and observe. All right, so I guess that's what you have to do. Let them do it to themselves. This is the most, like, the highest pilotage way of not enduring the situation, but actually enjoying it. If you can get yourself to this point, and I understand, again, it's very, very hard. I've been there myself several times, until I finally understood how to like actually manage it. Let them do their shit. You just document every single thing. Don't even argue with them. Don't waste your fucking energy. Don't waste your emotional, abundance, okay, on such a impoverished little soul. No, I don't even know if they have a soul. Seriously though, you just let them walk into their little trap. It's like, this cartoon, the coyote and the roadrunner. It's exactly the same thing. While the coyote is plotting, is doing this, that, any other calculations and jubaju, and tries to like, get rid of the roadrunner is just floating on fucking air, running around, having a good time. And the coyote inevitably falls into his own trap. But your calm demeanor, I want to stress, is the main ingredient. Why? Well, first of all, it discombobulates the narcissist. They don't expect that. They want predictability. They want for you to freak out. They want to know the pulse. When they don't know what's going on inside of you, it's a panic mode kind of situation. They want to know exactly that they've got control over you. Untangle that control out of their hands completely. Silence terrifies them. Few words, calm demeanor terrifies them. Not reacting to their bullshit, like I already said, terrifies them. Terrifies them to their core, because they're not getting what they're predicted. They're not getting what they thought. But fuck what they thought. They thought wrong, because they've never met a strong person like you. And the second part is that staying calm really allows you to see clearly, to act rationally, to not be influenced by this bullshit, to make decisions that are right for you. And I would advise you, however you have to do this, obvious is meditation, taking the time, taking walks, whatever is the process for you that keeps you level headed. Don't ever respond right away to a narcissist. Don't ever, you understand, when you're feeling, when you feel that little, what are they saying? What are they doing? This and that. Take a little pause and remind yourself of what I'm telling you today. They're just trying to get a rise out of you for their own manipulative bullshit tactics. That just to be able to tell people, oh yeah, see, she's crazy. Oh, see, he's crazy. No, bitch, you're crazy. Okay? Crazy to think that your tactics will last forever. No, they ain't. They're stopping right now. And this is how you let them unravel in front of other people. They're going to start losing control. When none of this shit works, all the shit that worked before in some other people who may or may not have been as strong as you. But the fact is, the narcissist has an abundance of experience, shall we say, with different kind of people. But here it is, on you, it doesn't work. They're going to start freaking the fuck out. Their little charade is not even skin deep. It's like a paper towel. You understand, floating between them and the reality. They try really hard to put this facade together, to put this mask on. But like I'm telling you, it's like not even paper towel, it's like toilet paper thin. You and their game. If you stop reacting, they're going to start like having a meltdown after meltdown, having completely lost control over the situation. And you're going to see them act the way that they needed to act in order for everybody to see this is what's actually happening and what's been happening. Or if you're in a legal situation, for them to completely, stop being able to pretend and slip up and be caught in a lie or whatever. Listen, for them to be caught in a lie, it's not that hard because they lie all the fucking time, which is why you have to be really like with it and calm and continue catching them in these lies if it's a legal situation or whatever other kind of situation where it's like by the time that they're done, there's so many fucking lies. You understand? They put themselves in that trap themselves just because you were vigilant, calm, and cool and collected enough to catch those golden nuggets, okay, that are irrefutable. But if you're in your, let's just say you're one of those people who are easily distracted by this commotion, easily gullible, they love gullible people who are going to believe, like, they're not discerning, you understand, they believe that they want to do right and all of this and bullshit. Okay, but if you're one of those gullible people, you emotionally will react and you will completely miss the golden nugget that you need to win this situation. Don't be one of those gullible people, please. Open your eye. Don't be one of those people. Oh, kumbaya, let's get along. No, not that kind of situation. Not with somebody who already, stabbed you in the back over and over again. No fucking kumbaya. Fuck no. I used to be this person. Oh, can't we just get along? No, we fucking can't. Not with a narcissist. Okay? Would you want to get along with somebody who literally plotted and planned and schemed to fucking destroy you? Fuck no. And this is the other thing. That fucking charm, and that's what I'm going to close with. This fucking charm that they put on for other people, that is so fucking fake, may I tell you, okay? Yeah, some people might buy into it, but can I tell you something? If you get to see what I saw, how a narcissist can go from their mask straight into their real demonic face on the spot, when found out in a lie, when challenged, when not believed, and having proof in your hands, you will like so quickly change your mind because it's terrifying. Again, who they really are is a demon. I don't know, some people say they have demonic attachments, this and that. I don't give a fuck what you have. You're a demon. Okay, you're acting in this way, in these ways, you're a fucking demon. So all that fucking charm goes out the window. You'll never look at them the same. So don't be fooled by these charming words or pronouncements or facial expressions. They study people. Do you understand how creepy these fucking people are? They study people just so that they can appear human. Let me tell you this one more time, let it sink in. They study people for hours on end in order to appear as human as it could possibly be, because they're fucking not, man. They need to learn how to appear surprised. They need to learn how to appear loving. Is that human to you? No, 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 it's not. Watch their actions. Watch how their stories never make sense. The facts never line up. The story always changes. Watch that. Don't watch the face. They could even be pretty. They could even be handsome. It still doesn't fucking matter. Their soul is as ugly as hell. Because to be doing shit like that, yeah, you're a monster. There's nothing to. I don't give a fuck about your looks. I don't give a fuck about what you say. You're a monster. It's what you do that makes you. And to win over such a person, over such a demon, over such a monster, it's your birthright, darling. Go out and get them. All right? Thank you very much for listening. Until the next. Ciao, ciao.